People think Tsundere girls are cute, especially the violent ones, but to me that is just a DV. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven from X Krogani Studio today with your weekly figure news fix this time around 10th to 15th of August 2026. Perhaps one of the weirdest weeks of the year because it is very quiet. We have exactly 5 new skill figures on HLJ this week and another 4 on Ami, and that's about it for the genuine section. I have no idea why. Some people are saying it could be Summer Comic Cat taking place in Japan, but I don't think Comic Cat has anything to do with genuine anime figures. At least you may see a few I mean GK sculptors showing up selling their limited edition GKs, and then the Chinese would go over there and steal them, like buy one copy, go back and clone them, if you know what I mean. Summer Comic Cat is more about cosplayers with big cameras showing up and surrounding cosplayers just to take upskirt photos. That is Summer Comic Cat. By the way, for third parties, we have quite a number of new figures, but not very interesting this week, and also a bit lesser than usual. So without further ado, let's move on to Hobby Link Japan for our first stop. And what you're seeing on screen over here, yep, that is all for this week. 5 skill figures and 2 chibi figures over there. The first one, we don't have any 1x4, so the 1x6 skill over here is Suopatra Barney version by Furyu, 22,500 yen, releasing in June. And I believe there is an existing Suopatra figure by Furyu, but smaller at 1x7. I have no idea who this is, and I'm going to guess it is a VTuber. And that Suopatra figure, which was already out some time ago, bargain binned very badly, at least in Taobao. I don't think it is that different in Ami. You might find her in the sale section. So with this one, even though 22,500 yen is not considered expensive by today's standards, not sure if pre-ordering it early is a good idea. Yeah, because the price could go even lower. And as much as I love the character design of this figure, in the end, it is just a bunny girl figure, not much more. Moving on to the next one here, this is probably the main highlight this week, coming from Daiki Kogyo. 1x6 scale Azur Mary Celeste Grim Knight's Reaper. Oddly enough, we only have 3 pictures at the bottom over here. I have no idea why they did not show us more pictures, like closer up pictures especially. And this is probably Daiki's most expensive scale figure to date. Their figures have never been very expensive until the recent year or so. They can't avoid it, I guess, with the Japanese yen sliding. And this is probably one of their most impressive looking figures yet, be it Azur or 18 plus figures. They have been doing Azur sparingly every once in a while because they need that to make some money, I guess. Like 18 plus figures of original characters, they are so niche. There can't be more than a few thousand units produced. Yeah, so they need to go into the more popular gacha games, and of course Azur is always the main choice when they are desperate for some money. But I do like the character design on this a lot. The only issue is that Daiki Kogyo, yeah, they are not the best brand to go for when it comes to buying Azur figures. Putting aside the obvious ones like Alter and Apex Toys, and even Good Smile, yeah, Daiki is rarely the first choice people go for. But for Mary Celeste, are there any figures of her? So far, are there any? I don't think so, right? Yeah, so this could be worth looking into, but what you need to know about this brand is that their quality control is also a bit of a hit or miss. Yeah, they are B tier, average. Moving on to the next one here, another main highlight this week, we have Blue Archive Kirara from Max Factory, 26,000 yen, releasing in September next year. Oh, the same acrylic base again, I think. The same one on my FGO Melocene, like the same base material, the same template, just that in a different color, I guess. Very nice. Just that Blue Archive. Okay, this is a good Blue Archive figure, I would say. Whenever I see a Blue Archive figure, I want to see the firearm, the rifle over there. This one has it, so good. Very good. And Max Factory, I always have very nice things to say about their figures, even though the Hosho Marine figure I reviewed recently is not that perfect, but still very good. Yeah. Pre-order it if you want it, but at the same time, waiting until after release is not entirely a bad idea, given that a lot of Max Factory figures specifically bargain bin. I have no idea why. Maybe they mass produced too many units. Next up over here from Arcadia, that is a brand that you don't come across often. Arcadia, anime figures, skill figures, it is like a side quest of them. They don't really make many skilled figures. They make a lot of plamo stuff, if I remember correctly, military stuff, battleships and so on. They make plamo stuff, but occasionally they do make figures like this. So we have Lin Min Mei Super Dimension Orchestra version from Macross. Do you remember Love? Now that is a classic, one of the older Macross series. I think it is older than even the Macross Frontier series, right? Which was the first series where I was exposed to the Macross franchise. Macross Frontier was year 2007, 2008 or so, I think. This is older than that. 19,800 yen, releasing in May next year. Look at the character design. This is definitely early 2000s, I think, in terms of the character design. Yeah. But moving on to the next one here. This is... Alright. You know what? I actually have a scale figure of Louis from Zero no Tsukaima, which came out in year 2008. Beautiful figure. It is by Alter, the Lolita Gothic version. Beautiful figure. Meanwhile, here we have a low budget figure of Louis, 20th anniversary non-scale model by Kadokawa from Zero no Tsukaima, 13,500 yen, tiny figure, releasing in February next year. Right. So this anime has 4 seasons. I finished all of it when I was in college long ago. It is one of those anime where the main character is super tsundere and she is always beating the ass of the main character. And people think tsundere girls are cute, especially the violent ones, but to me that is just a DV. It is just domestic violence being romanticized, So I'm not exactly a fan of tsundere characters. Like, they are cute in anime, but only in anime. In real life, people who don't tell you what they actually feel, people who are always saying the exact opposite of what they mean, they are annoying AF, and I do not want to deal with people like that. Man or woman, same thing. So this is like one of the ultimate flat chest tsunderes which were popular back in the early 2010s. Season 1 was year 2008, I think. And then by season 4 was year 2013, I think. Did the author pass away or something? I can't remember, but they did not finish the story because something happened to the author. I don't remember anymore. Yeah, which is a shame. Because putting aside my dislike for tsunderes, in general, this was a pretty entertaining anime regardless. Yeah. And they had a big Oppai elf too. We never got a figure of her. So with this Louise, I suppose that if you are unable to find the older figures that came out 10, 15 years ago, then it could be a good pre-order, I guess. But if I were you, I would look for the older releases. Yeah, sometimes buying 10 or 15-year-old skilled figures is not a good idea because the item is sitting on the shelf, locked up in a box for God knows how long. And, with all the plasticizer vapors trapped in the box, the figure could turn yellow. Or worse, sticky, right? It could happen when you buy a figure that is too old and, yeah, just rotting there on the shelf in the figure store. So there's one thing you need to know when you buy old figures, but old figures tend to be cheap. And if you're okay with taking that risk, look for the older scale figures of her. Moving on to the next one here. Okay, this is a quick mention. Apex Toys and GB figures. QT Series Arknights Angelina, 3,800 yen. May 2027 release. And lastly, on HLJ, QT Series Arknights Tequila, 3,800 yen as well, May release. So that is all for HLJ. Now we move on to Army. And this one here, there are 2 versions, 23,000 yen and 21,000 yen, I think. Of course, you get the limited version, right? Swimsuit silhouette Watora swimsuit version design Kani Bimu limited 1/7 scale, 23,000 yen, releasing in December. This December, that is uncharacteristically fast for an army figure. So with the limited version, you are getting B3 cloth poster. Alright. So this is up to you. I'm not a poster guy, but some people love collecting posters and displaying them. This really reminds me of Chizuru from Rent a Girlfriend. They made 3 figures of her in the same Speedo swimsuit, just different colors, and all 3 became very popular regardless. So they're just repeating the same formula over here, even though this is like an actual original character designed by an artist. Cute, but that's about it. I don't think this is worth 23,000 yen, given that this is a lolly figure, can't be big, even at 1/7. Moving on to the next one. Yep, there we go. This is a standard version of 20,000 yen. Alright, without the wall scroll, or poster in this case. Next one here, Shin no Tenpi casual version, 1/6 scale by Hobby Sakura, 35,000 yen. Alright, the price being so high, once again, because this is resin, this is not PVC figure, so there's normal price for resin. And this one comes with Gengar wall scroll as well. There's a standard version at around 32,000 yen or so, if I remembered correctly. And when HLJ does put this figure on pre-order a week later, maybe, could be 45,000 yen, who knows. Yeah. So if you want her for any reason, I is the better place to get these resin figures by Hobby Sakura. Of course, the quality is good, but I can't justify them. Resin figures, be it genuine or third party, they have to be something unique, that genuine PVC figures don't offer for me to consider them. And the last figure here on Ami, Kanon-chan, illustrated by Karori. I can't remember if I covered this figure last week. I feel like I covered her already, just that, Ami bumped her up the front page again this week because usually it is because there are not many pre-orders received for the figure. 28,600 yen. Is it customable? Yep. The top is customable. Right, so that is all for Ami. No new figures at all this week in the age restricted section, interestingly. So now we shall move on to third party resin figures section. And before I proceed, if you're enjoying this video or finding it informative, please do not forget to click the like button and subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. So now we are in the third party section. First section would be my usual chibi figures, which we go through them quickly. 2 of them this week. One of them is Anya Forger by Waku Waku Studio, which is one of the better studios out there for Anya figures. ZH Studio is king when it comes to Anya figures, right? But Waku Waku Studio is okay. $105 for Anya Forger. December release. What's the height of this thing? 23 centimeters. This is 1/6 scale, I guess, including a suitcase, 23 cm. I'm not sure how many people are pre-ordering or purchasing figures like this because Anya, you can just buy a Sega price figure, I'm not sure what reason would you spend $100 on a resin like this, because character designs like this are not taking advantage of the resin material, which is the ability to recreate finer details. Yeah. Moving on to the next chibi figure here, we have Free Run by Bath Studio. $84 releasing in, okay, no release date yet. So something like this is adorable, and this is a nice birthday gift for a friend who loves Free Run, I guess. Is this inspired by some kind of religious statue in Buddhism, especially? You see these Guan Yin statues or something like that with lotus flowers, very common in Buddhism. I feel like it is inspired by that, given how they illustrated this picture over here. Moving on to the next figure here, this is kinda in the original characters section, even though Sadako is more like, folklore in Japan, where you have this ghost woman or something coming out from a TV screen. And here, coming from NTR Studio with a cultured figure of Sadako at $282, 1/6 scale, releasing in September next year, 2027. So we have Sadako climbing out of the TV screen, almost pretty much Hadaka at this point, and holding a big banana. The face is nice. The face sculpt on this is very nice. And if you want an edgy Sadako figure, I guess this is the only one. Yeah, NTR Studio, they do all kind of creative Gunner figures, so this is nothing new for them, but at least the face looks pretty good over here. Moving on to the next one here, we are now in anime character section, and I'm not sure this a wonderful new world thing. Is it like Korean webtoon or something? I'm not sure, but it is under the anime character section. At least Oz GK says that it is an anime for some reason. So, a wonderful new world, Kimmy Jong from SG Studio 3. Okay, the price is not yet confirmed. 1x4 scale, but 369 for 1x4 is reasonable and releasing in December 2026. Probably in a week's time, they would adjust the price again, and normally the price they show on screen is an overestimation. Usually that's the case because you do not want people who get angry over are saying this figure would cost 300 and then it turns out to be 400. So they usually tend to overestimate things a bit. My type of MILF, this is hot, but not much else going on, just an office lady. Next one here, this is from an anime called Circles or Dongari in Japanese. I think I've seen this name in illegal anime download sites or torrent sites. Dongari, I've seen it, but I have no idea what it is. Like Chinese or Korean anime webtoon, not too sure either. Lee Yi Rin by Comic Hero Studio, $263, not released date yet. 1x6 scale. Okay, no scale mentioned, but the dimensions are pretty close to 1x6. So this is just, once again, MILF with big melons and wearing a very hot one-piece dress. Not much else going on. Alright, moving on to the next one here. Another so-called anime that I've never heard of, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Given that the name sounds very, very Korean, Yao Sanga, is there even Yu Sanga? Yeah, very Korean name. Could be a Korean webtoon or manhwa by Siren Studio. There is a standing version and a sitting version. No release date yet. So the standing version, the one you're looking at on screen, this is $263. Very nice. I like it. Like, this is the kind of realistic character design that I can get behind. It is partial anime, partial realistic. I do like it a lot. And here we have a sitting version of the same character. What's the price again? $291. Both are nice. Yeah, this is better because of the throne she's sitting on, but tough choice. I like both. Right. No comment. All I know is that I like the character design. Moving on to the next one here, we have early bird pre-order, no price of release date yet. 1x4 scale Android 18 from Dragon Ball by Origin Studio. They're only showing us the head sculpt, realistic face, but yeah, very nice, very realistic. Wow. Okay. Impressive. Would say it is impressive, but we don't have anything else other than the head sculpt. We don't even know what the pose or the body looks like. Moving on to the next one, Infinite Studio, which is a different company from Infinity Studio. I know, confusing. This is third-party unlicensed, right? Infinity Studio actually make licensed stuff only. So this is 40th anniversary cover series number 3 launch from Dragon Ball. Available in 1/6 and 1/4. 1x6 scale is $278. 1x4 scale $367. Releasing in December. And they actually have a painted sample over here which looks fantastic. Looks great, man. If there's one thing I like about third parties, the same sculpt, they offer 1/6 and 1/4. This is something I really wish genuine figure brands would do. After all, it is the same sculpt. They were probably designed on a computer with CGI, right? So you can just, upscale or downscale it. Should be easy to make two scales, but yes, it is way more expensive to do two scales on genuine PVC figures, specifically PVC figures, because they need to make the molds. The steel flasks are pretty expensive. Meanwhile, for resin, they can just 3D print it. They don't need to make expensive flasks, right? Impressive. Moving on to the next one, we have MT Studio Haruko Akagi from Slam Dunk. Is this character even that hot? I don't remember her being that attractive in anime. Right. 1x6 scale is going for $156. 1x4 scale $263. Did they give her upgrades? Is this character that big on the chest, on the melons? I don't think so, right? Like classic anime from the 1990s, giant melons like what we see in gacha anime today is not that common. I think third parties give her an upgrade. Moving on to the next one, pretty unusual for a classic anime character to be made into a Gunner figure. I couldn't show much because it is pretty much a missionary position at this point, and she's borderline Hadaka. So we have Miwako Sato from Detective Conan by Hell Research Institute Studio. That's a nice name. There are several versions over here. Regular version is going for $275, can go all the way up to $392. Alright. No scale mentioned, but the dimensions are pretty much close to 1/6, releasing in December. I'm not sure if I would be attracted to a Gunner figure of a classic anime character because most classic anime characters are not that attractive. Yeah, moving on to the next one with ATVS Studio, another Asuka figure from Evangelion. This brand ATVS Studio has made quite a number of Asuka figures. So this is Asuka on a motorcycle, 1/6 scale, $311, 1/4 scale, $560, including a bike that is cheap actually. No release date yet. Alright. Man, 1/4 with this whole thing over here is huge. That's a beautiful bike, but it looks like something I would see in Cyberpunk, maybe in Evangelion. I guess it is still suitable in terms of the theme. Science fiction. Too bad it is realistic face. God, I hate this face so much. Like, there are some nicer realistic faces. When it comes to Asuka figures, this is not nice. Right, moving on to the next one, we have 1/2 scale Yamada from Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. Oh, there is a not safe for work version. Interesting. But there are no pictures over here. I went through them earlier. So version A is $499. Can go all the way up to $649. I do imagine how difficult it is to cast off a fixed statue like this. No, this is not cast off. This is fixed outfit, right? This is not fabric outfit. It is fixed. Could be resin or polystone statue. Usually when the scale is so big, 1/2 scale, it could be polystone, right? I'm not sure if resin can hold up at 1/2 scale because of the weight of the statue itself. The main reason why 1/4 scale PVC figures, right, by Jardine brands, they are relatively simple, like those Bunny Girl figures. Number one is because obviously the price is a main concern. They are afraid people would not pre-order or purchase it. And number two, when a figure or a statue becomes way too big and heavy, then it could collapse on its own weight. If a figure is very top heavy for any reason, and then the legs of anime girls, they are pretty slender, and the ankle region is pretty thin, that is a recipe for disaster. The figure could lean on its own without the influence of hot climates, right? Because of the sheer weight of the statue, and the material itself, PVC, is not hard enough to withstand the weight of the entire thing. So this is where the figure will collapse or lean just because of its own weight. And the same thing happens to resin. We have seen plenty of resin statues in the past where big and heavy wings started sagging on their own, or cracks started slowing because of the weight itself. Yes. So for 1/2 scale, I think they should be making it with polystone. Of course, the materials mentioned here is resin, polyurethane. It is still doable if the statue is completely hollow inside. Yeah, just to reduce the weight, but hollow means it breaks very easily. It could break during shipping. 2 or 3 centimeters of thickness of resin maximum, and the entire inside of the statue is hollow, then it is possible, I guess. Moving on to the next one, we have Light Sculpt Studio, a very cultured Your Forger silicone doll from Spy Family, 1/3 scale according to the dimensions, right? It is about close to 16 centimeters. So that's close to 1/3 scale. $490, which is cheap for 1/3 scale, releasing in December. Of course, this is a bit bigger than 1/3 because Your Forger is certainly not 6 feet tall. 60 multiplied by 3 is 180 cm. That's pretty close to 6 feet. 180 cm is around 5 feet 11, I think, or 5, yeah. So this is all I can show you, but they are posing this doll. Like the company or the photographers of this figure, they are obviously having fun behind the scenes, posing it for photographs. A lot of photographs over here looks exactly like something you see in a JAV. Very creative, right? And I guess that the Ahegao face is quite nice if you want it. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, we have Gugu Gaga Studio, Shaola from WeZero. I can't remember if I covered this one last week because this one pre-order opened late last Friday or early last Saturday, so it was a week ago. $198 December release. Yep, this December. So let's have a closer look. Now that is one of the nicer Shaola figures I've seen so far. I know there's a genuine figure of her. Was it Kadokawa? Pre-order opened a few weeks ago. I think it was Kadokawa. Yeah, but this is very nice. I love the paint on the hair. Shading is mild, it is there, not too much, but something about the color scheme of this figure is very pleasant to look at. Face is perfect too. Moving on to the next one here, we have Mei Misaki from Another, pretty much Final Destination animation from EXE Studio, $199, no release date yet. So with Another, this anime at like a decade ago, maybe longer than that, and it has like a cult following of some kind. There is a small group of fans of this anime, right? And every once in a while, we do see third parties making a figure. Back then, we do have genuine PVC figures. There was even one, was it by Griffin Enterprise, with Mei Misaki carrying around a casket on the back. That's pretty rare and expensive now, even though Griffin figures are trash. This looks good. At least, yeah, looks pretty good. Next up, we have Chainsaw Man Reze. We almost have at least one or two Reze figure every week. Only one this week by Zhong Erbing Studio. Zhong Erping, I think. Yeah, basically Chunibyo. Zhong Erping. That's Chunibyo in Chinese. $199. No release date yet. 1/6 scale. Alright. This is like simple figure. So simple that even $199 feels a tad bit expensive for what it is. And this is definitely not the best face I've seen of Reze. There are many nicer ones out there. This feels like some college student and their first ever CGI render or some college project. Yeah, it doesn't look that refined in the face department. Yeah, it is. I mean, it looks like Reze, but compared to many other options out there, this is not that good. Moving on to the next one here with early bird pre-order of Violet Evergarden from Kira Kira Studio. No price or release date yet. 1/6 scale. Okay, this looks fine. This would have sold well maybe a year or 18 months ago, but now we have Good Small Arts Shanghai and soon Apex Toys version coming. Yeah, third parties are a bit of a tough sell at this point, especially for 1/6, but 1/4 will still have their own market. Next up, we have two Marin Kitagawa figures. The first one here, early bird pre-order. And we only have an illustration here and not much else. Rabbit Ear Studio. Two versions, lease version or Marin Kitagawa. No price or release date yet. Yeah, if this is not a Gunner figure, not customable, there's not much reasons to get one really. But the outfit design is quite nice though. Next up, we have another Marin Kitagawa. And this one does have an anime face, fortunately, coming from Bass Studio. No price or release date yet. And this is a 1/4. So with the extra hit, EX version probably $450 or so. Yeah, $450. That's my guess. Anime face is fine. Though they gave her some upgrades, isn't it? Because Marin Kitagawa's chest is not that big. Yeah, that's the part I don't like. Moving on to the next one here, Fern from Beyond Journey's End. From Last Work Studio, $328 and at 1/4 is cheap, but no release date yet. And that is not Fern at all. It does resemble her, but the eyes, especially, Uh, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, there has been so many third-party figures of Fern, but for some reason, not many third-party brands can get it right. This one, I mean, for 1x4 scale, it is cheap, but at the same time, I don't feel like it is anything special. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. Yeah, some company here is looking for trouble because the copyright holders of Ultraman is very protective of their IP. So this is not this is not a good idea. Well, as long the IP holders don't know this thing exists, I guess. Mother of Ultraman by Emergence Studio. $348 at 1x4 December release. Well, not my kind of thing, but this is what she looks like. Moving on to the next one here, we have Artoria Pendragon Saber from Fate series by Snow Unity Studio and ZN Studio. So we are now in like anime character section. Has been the case for the past 8 or 10 figures, but this is anime characters that also appear in games in a way. $196 releasing in December. This December, let's have a close look at Saber's face. Saber or Artora Pendragon is also one of those few characters where third parties, they don't get it right very often. This one is fine at least. It does look like Saber. And some third parties, they try to mask their inability to get her face right by simply offering you a realistic face option. That is actually how I see it. They're not confident they can get the anime face right, so they just give you realistic face. This is fine, but there are too many good Saber figures out there already. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, we have Gen Diak Alter from FGO by CD Key Studio and PG Studio. Okay, figures by CD Key Studio are actually very decent. $229 at 1x6 scale, December release. Yep, this December. Face looks really good. This is pretty much Gen Diak Alter. Gen Alter, very nice. I have the Alter one, and I love her so much that I've thought of buying a second one. One for display, one to be kept in the box for preservation. An artifact. And as for this dress, like there is an Aniplex swimsuit version figure of her which is still available today on Taobao. I have been thinking of getting that one for some time actually. This is black dress. I think there's a blue dress version by Max Factory that came out many years ago, but this black dress is not bad either. But moving on to the next one here, we have Miyamoto no Raiko and Shuten Doji from FGO by Kawaii Studio. Gunner figure, and I couldn't show Shuten Doji much because I don't think Shuten Doji is that tiny. Mom feeding her daughter. Basically that, right? So I couldn't show much. $443 for 2 1x6 scales is actually decent pricing, especially for Gunner figure, releasing this December as well. But no, Shuten Doji is not that tiny. Moving on to the next one here, we have Resin Stout from Atelier Ryza by Hero Goblin Studio. Once again, Gunner figure. Yep, $263 at 1x6 scale, June release next year. Face looks good at least, looks accurate. And they gave her upgrades again because Ryza is thick in the hips but not in the chest region, right? Wrong body proportions again. Next up, we have early bird pre-order of Lucina. Oh, I did not know that Lucy's full name is Lucina. I did not know that. Right, Lucy from Cyberpunk Edge Runners by Crystal Lotus Studio. No release date or price yet. Let's have a closer look at the face. Alright, the face is very good. Okay. I'm liking what I'm seeing over here. Only one single picture. Yeah, one single picture. I shall wait for the Kotobukiya one. Right. Moving on to the next one here. Now we are in Game Characters section. Joy Station Studio Rinoa Hatili from Final Fantasy VIII. This is like Timo Tifa Lockhart. $786 for the EX version at 1x4 December release. So I wonder what's the difference between the three versions. Uh, uh, Special description includes a replacement hand, EX version, original version, plus this CDR version. Okay, no cast off. This is like half Yuna, half Tifa Lockhart. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it is not like I know much about Final Fantasy, even though it's legendary as a game. I'm not sure if I like the pose because it looks a bit stiff. Like from the front, I guess it looks fairly normal, but from this angle, it looks a bit unnatural, a bit stiff. Yeah. With these pose is a bit better, I guess. Where's the other version? Oh, okay, just an extra base. All right. Moving on to the next one, we have a Guna figure by Beast Studio, Lily and Ditto from Pokemon. And once again, we only get a face preview over here. Ahegao face gets a big thumbs up from me. $263 June release. Right, so if you want the full picture, I guess that you can find them on OzGK's Twitter or X or just Google for it with safe search turned off, of course. Releasing in June 2027. Right, moving on to the next one, we have two Yu-Gi-Oh figures. The first one here is by Divine Officer Studio Chocolate Magician Girl. $199 with DLC, cast-off option. Alright, December release. Let's see the description at the bottom. Body not safe for work. I think it is a Hadaka body. So let's have a closer look at the face here. Alright, I don't know enough about this character to comment on it, but I don't like the face. That's all I can say at this point. And I'm more familiar with this normal Dark Magician Girl by PPS Studio. Price or release date is not yet confirmed. Oh, I can't zoom in. This is the most... Oh, they do have a sample here, and it looks very good. Yes. This looks promising, but I don't think it will be $369. Maybe... yeah, somewhere between 250 to 300, maybe. But yeah, the base is quite something over there. If it is over 300, I'm not too surprised either. Moving on to the next one, we have Mint Studio Hachiroku from my Tetsu last run. This is my personal favorite this week. Not just because I love my lollies, but I think this is... I mean, the character design is quite tastefully done, but that is no wedding dress. This is not a wedding dress, right? $263, releasing in March 2027. Yeah, with Hachiroku, we need her with as little clothes as possible because that is what Hachiroku is about. But I guess that Fat Company already gave one at 1/3 scale even, so this will do. This is very nice. This is my figure of the week for third parties. I love it. Moving on to the next one from New Age Studio with Justia from Brown Dust 2 in swimsuit, $286. Half of the price probably went to the to the base and the wine glass over there. The figure shouldn't cost much because it's just white bikini. No release date yet though. I think Hobby Sakura is making a figure of Justia, isn't it? I think there is one, but I'm not too sure. Right, next up over here, we have ACGN Studio and their recast. This is probably a recast. Flanger Scarlet from Toho Project, 1/7 scale, September release 2027. We know they will do a good job, that's for sure. Look at the bloods over here. Oh, that's beautiful. But they sure ask a lot of money, right? For recast figures. Very expensive. Every single figure by this brand. No exceptions. Next up, we have Cosmo Studio. 37 from Weavers 1999. $310 at 1/6 scale. September release 2027. That looks really nice. They actually have a sample here, but they are just not showing us the face. Come on, man. This actually looks very nice if they do deliver on it. Look at the color gradients on the hair. And I also like her dress a lot. It is beautiful. Right, moving on to the next figure here. We have two Nikke figures this week. Yes, Hachiroku earlier is still my favorite, but this is probably in second place. Dorothy Bunny suit version from Chenbeng Yinggongjao Studio, which is a brand that I can vouch for. Their figures are good and they're not too expensive. $178 at 1/6 scale, releasing in December. Just that Dorothy, this character with a bunny suit, is a weird combination, at least to me. I don't think I've seen Doro in the bunny suit before. Yeah, so I'm not used to it. Face looks fine. It is okay. And here we have a second Nikke figure, Arcana, which looks pretty nice actually. 1680 Studio, the same studio which was caught using AI to enhance their figure pictures in a separate Nikke figure. Was it a month or 2 months ago? I mean, as long they deliver and the figure ends up exactly as promised as the final product, I don't think I have much of a complaint, but it does leave a bad taste behind. Because, using AI to enhance or modify a photograph of a prototype, it feels dishonest, obviously. It is like you're trying to mislead the consumer, but regardless of whether the intentions are good or not, right? This one is 1/4 scale at $310, which is a really good price for a 1/4, releasing in March 2027. And the face, in my opinion, looks excellent. So let's hope that they deliver on it. We don't have any 1/4 scales of Arcana yet, not even by genuine brands. Next up, okay, this is an update from last week. I covered this pack of Hadaka figures of Karin and Asuna in Sona last week by Lingye Studio. Now we have a price where a set of 2 is going for $538 at 1/6 scale, including the not safe for work cast off parts. There is a standard version over here which is also borderline Hadaka at $371, releasing in March 2027. Their face look fine, but I'm not exactly fond of mostly Hadaka figures because that translates into lower detail. Yeah. Next up, we have an Azur figure here, which I don't like because the realistic face is just yeah. It is Taiho, come on. We need to give her anime face over here. So this is Azur Taiho Original Art 3D Realization Series, as they call it, by YS Sculpt Studio. There is a cast-off option, including that would be $452 at 1/4, reasonable I guess. Without the cast-off is $365. So this is just Taiho in lingerie lying on a sofa, not too special. And the realistic face is not my thing. Last figure of the week, we have another Ramil done from Zenless Zone Zero, this time around by New Age Studio, which is excellent. This brand is excellent. As usual, there is a white and black version, right? Every other Ramil done figure I've covered by other brands, they did the same thing. So in this case, I would take the white color one because of her mouth being open. I think the black one is just a smile, right? Or is the mouth open? Oh, the mouth is actually open. Okay. Then this really depends on which color you prefer. I mean, this is more like dark purple, dark violet rather than black. But I like it. Oh, the face is perfect. Very nice. Of course, it looks like another typical MiHoYo character, obviously. Now, the white color here, the good thing about it is that the color gradients are more obvious. So I'm leaning towards the white one a little bit more. One of the better figures this week as well. So that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Very few. Are there anything that interests you at all? Let me know down in the comments below. And until then, thanks a lot for watching all the way to the end. Once again, do not forget to like and subscribe. And also use my affiliate links to purchase or pre-order from HLJ or OSGK. If you want to support this channel in any way, links are in the description below. Until then, I'll see you guys again soon in a few days with more figure reviews, and goodbye.